Good day everyone, I'm David, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is CMO Supplier Quality Agreements, how to comply with new FDA and EU guidelines for the contract drug manufacturer. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, Roger Cohen. Roger Cohen is the founder and owner of R. Cohen Consulting Services LLC, a consulting company specializing primarily in pharmaceutical contract manufacturing. He has over 35 years of experience in pharmaceutical quality assurance and manufacturing. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Roger.
Yes, thank you very much. So, as was said, my name is Roger Cowen from R. Cowen Consulting Services LLC, and I'm here today to present to you a webinar on CMO, Contract Manufacturing Organization, Supplier Quality Agreements. And perhaps more importantly, what you need to know in order to comply with the new FDA and EU GMP guidelines for contract drug manufacturing. So we're going to start off with some basic questions here. First one is pretty basic. It's what is a CMO quality agreement? Well, a quality agreement is a contract between a sponsor and a contract manufacturer which details the GMP responsibilities of each party. It's also used to assure the quality, safety, and efficacy of the manufactured drug. Now, what drug products are applicable to a quality agreement? Well, according to the FDA, a quality agreement is used for the contracted manufacture of human drugs, veterinary drugs, APIs, drug substances, in-process materials, and the drug component of combination and drug device products. Now, the guidance does not apply to medicated feed, medical devices, dietary supplements, or cellular tissue-based products. Now, what is the terminology in these guidances used for contract partners? It is different. The FDA terminology guidance uses the terms owner and contracted facility when referring to the sponsor and the contracted CMO. In the EU, the terminology GMP chapter uses the terms contract giver and contract acceptor. Now, why use the word owner? The FDA's use of the word owner harks back to original U.S. product liability laws, where it was very clear that the accountability for the product lies with the organization that actually owns the product which is introduced into commerce. If you own the intellectual property, trademark, or the market license, to the FDA, you are the product owner. Now, the FDA guidance also clarifies that the term owner does not apply to retail pharmacies and other retailers that actually purchase drug products to sell. Now, the FDA guidance recommends that a written quality agreement be produced that defines the respective responsibilities of the quality units of each party involved in the GMP contract manufacture of a drug. The FDA guidance also emphasizes that a quality agreement is not a commercial or business agreement. Therefore, it does not cover such things as business terms, confidentiality, pricing or cost issues, delivery times, limits on liability, or liquidated damages. Now, over in the EU, the GMP chapter states that the contract, which is the quality agreement, shall specify the respective responsibilities and communication processes relating to the outsourced activities. Now, both the FDA guidance and the EU Chapter 7 actually recommend the format, if you will, of these quality agreements. So I've made a little chart here. The one on the left-hand side is recommended sections by the FDA, and that's like purpose, scope, definitions, dispute resolution, responsibilities, manufacturing activities, and change control, and also the quality agreement life cycle and revisions. Those are the sections in your quality agreement that is recommended by the FDA. Over in the EU, they recommend the sections be entitled Knowledge Management, Technology Transfer, Supply Chain, Subcontracting, the Quality and Purchasing of Materials, the Testing and Releasing of Materials, and also Production and Quality Controls. Now, these are recommended sections. You can format your quality agreement as you wish, but it's a good idea to take their recommendations. And perhaps you can combine the recommendations from the FDA and the EU in your quality agreement. Now, so what are the FDA expectations today about quality agreements? It is not actually required under current GMP regulations, as with most FDA guidances. However, it is strongly suggested by this guidance as a means of contractually sharing the responsibility for quality contract drug manufacturer. It's just a good idea. Now, an FDA inspector may expect to see a quality agreement with the contract manufacturer and actually put it down as a observation. In fact, there's precedent for this. The FDA has already sent a company by the name of FSC Labs a warning letter back in June 2011 for failing to set up a quality agreement with its contract manufacturer. So in this warning letter, the FDA actually wrote, your firm has not established a quality agreement with the contract manufacturer of easy spacer nebulizer devices. Responsibilities between FSC and the contractor have not been clearly defined. Additionally, a similar observation was made regarding your failure to establish a quality agreement with your contract manufacturer of the drug. So they will write you up for this. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the webinar on quality agreements. So I'll turn this over to the host.
I hope everyone has understood and it was helpful to everyone. So I would now like to hand over the floor back to the speaker for the final remarks. Over to you, Roger.
Yes. Well, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for listening today. It was it's a subject that doesn't get talked about very much, but I'd like, and there's a lot of detail, and it's kind of dry material, I realize, but not a lot of pictures. So anyway, thanks very much for listening.
Thank you, Roger. That does conclude the sessions for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now and have a great day ahead.
Okay, bye now.